that's been floating around on YouTube, the assumptions about me video. There's been so many people uploading their video, and I thought it would be fun to do it. So I recently asked you guys in my community center to, go ahead and comment in the comment section and ask me any assumptions that you might have about me. Some of the questions like nailed me. I'm like, wow, you guys really know me. I was kind of shocked by them. Some of them I was like, wait, I can't wait to answer that question. You guys did a great job asking me your assumptions, and I'm so excited to film this video. I really like these types of videos because, from a viewer's perspective, I feel like it just lets me get to know them even more. And so I always appreciate these types of videos. And so I'm really glad that it was something that you guys were interested in seeing. So let's just go ahead and get started because there's quite a few questions here and I don't want this to be 100 million years long. So the first question is, I assume you are a cool mom and somewhat of a perfectionist and very organized in your everyday life. And then my response was, have we met? Like, seriously, have we met? She nailed it. So yes, my kids would not classify me as the cool mom, but their friends would say I was the cool mom. Kids don't like to admit that though. Like, that's on the down low with them, but secretly they're kind of glad that I'm kind of the cool mom. You know what I mean? We are the type of family where we always had an open door policy with all of our kids as friends, and they always end up at my house. Whether they've been out kind of having fun on the town, they always end up at my house, and my husband and I love that because we know where they're at and we know that they're safe. And so we've always had that open door policy. We always try to keep a ton of food in the pantry and the refrigerators and stuff just so they can pig out and just have a great time when they're here. And I think that's definitely what I will miss the most when my kids are gone, is just having all of their friends over and just having a blast at the house. And we have a movie theater and they just always have a blast here, and I love them here. I love my kids as friends like my own. I do really adore them, and my kids have really good friends, and I love them like my own, for sure. Perfectionist and organized in your daily life. Oh, shit. Okay, so let me just say this. I am very clean. My husband and I are both clean, which has been great. Definitely recommend it for a good marriage. But I would say I'm the type of organizer where I love everything organized, but I don't start organizing unless I can finish it, because that will drive me nuts. Like, for example, my beauty room is a little bit messy right now, but I really haven't had the time to devote to completely do it. I don't start any project unless I know I can finish it, because if I can't finish it, I won't start it. That will drive me more crazy than looking at it. So that's what's weird about it. Like, my mom is a major clean freak. Holy crap. Like, I grew up smelling Clorox. I mean, I think that's why some of my brain cells are a little bit fried. I grew up literally smelling Clorox every day. She's a clean nut. So I'm clean. I'm not like that though. She's pretty crazy. But I don't start a project unless I can finish it. So, like, for example, the other day I was kind of reorganizing my closet because my hangers were a little bit too thick. And so it was taking up all this space, and I really couldn't hang up more clothes that I want to hang up because the hangers were too thick. So I bought new hangers on Amazon. I also bought the velvet type hangers where, like, if your shirts, they won't fall off of them. Nothing drives me more crazy than to have my shirts like hanging halfway off the hangers. Oh gosh, that drives me nuts. So I bought those hangers on Amazon. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't buy enough. I got halfway done, a little bit more than halfway. And I realized that I ran out of those hangers. So I had to buy more on Amazon. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, to leave it halfway done. That drove me nuts. And my husband made a comment the next morning, because I was up to like 1 in the morning last weekend doing it. And he came in that next morning, he's like, so I see you didn't finish your closet project. I'm like, we're not talking about that right now, okay? We're not talking about it. Because he knows me. He knows that I do not like to start it unless I can finish it. So that's definitely my personality. The next question is, you are a blush girl and a peachy girl. And I'm like, duh, yes. I thought that question was funny. I thought it was cute because that's so obvious, because I see it like every single day. So I thought that question was cute. The next question is, you wear a size C cup bra. Actually, I wear a size 34D. I'm a little bit bigger than I wanted to be. I did have a breast lift. After I had my son when I was 21, they were fine. But after I had my daughter, and so I had to get a breast lift when I was 23. And so you know, they're bigger than I want them to be. They really are. In the next 2 years, I'm going to do the surgery again, but that's a whole other video. If you guys want to hear my breast lift experience and the surgery that I want to do, I will definitely film a video. I'm an open book, and I don't mind sharing that experience with you guys. It was 15 years ago, so I do have a lot of things. I have a lot of things to say about it. So if you guys want to hear that, hear that story, let me know in the comments down below. I'm definitely game to share it with you guys. But yeah, I'm a little bit bigger than I want to be. I would prefer to be a 34C, but I'm a 34D. So I assume you wear the pants in your marriage. Your kids are embarrassed by you because your friends think you're hot, and your daughter consistently steals your makeup. Oh my gosh. Yes, my daughter consistently steals my makeup. But I assume you wear the pants in your marriage. I don't know. He would probably say yes. If you asked him, he'd be like, yeah. Because he's the pleaser. So I'm the nurturer and he's the pleaser. So if he sees me getting frustrated, he'll try to fix it. He's the fixer of everything. I think he would probably tell you that, but I don't feel like I wear the pets in the family. Like, I feel like I don't know. I kind of feel like we're both equal. But he would probably say yes. Your kids are embarrassed by you because their friends think you're hot. I've heard that, but it's kind of stupid. Like, so stupid. But yeah, that has been an issue. That's been an issue a few times, but it's really stupid because, I mean, I'm definitely old enough to be their mother. So I do take it as a compliment, but then I'm like, ew, gross. Yeah, no. The other question is, you and your husband support each other's ideas and hobbies. Yes, we do. We're very, very supportive. And I have followed him down some crazy rabbit holes, and he's followed me down some rabbit holes. So we're definitely supportive of each other. I think when you're married for 18 years, to have a successful marriage, you have to be supportive of each other's ideas and hobbies. And I feel like that's kind of what comes with being married. The other question is, I assume you wear your heart on your sleeve and are a very kind, loving person. Absolutely. And sometimes when you wear your heart on your sleeve, sometimes people take your kindness for weakness, and I've had this happen before where they're like, whoa, wait, you're so nice. I can't believe that you're so upset right now. And I'm like, you've pushed every button. Like, I'm going to lose my, I think that's the thing, is that I do wear my heart on my sleeve. And so people get kind of surprised when I stand up for myself, or I will take up for my friends. I will take up for especially my kids, obviously, my husband and my family and stuff. But I do wear my heart on my sleeve. And sometimes that's gotten me into trouble. And I hate saying that, but it's the truth. And, I've had a lot of really hurtful, horrible things happen to me by people treating me, walking all over me, knowing that I am going to continue to do for them, and they do absolutely nothing for you and then hurt you in the end. That's happened to me so many times. Ugh. And people that you wouldn't think would want to hurt you, they're not supposed to hurt you, and they do. So yeah, I definitely wear my heart on my sleeve. And sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it sucks. Although you are on YouTube, you like to keep certain parts of your life a little more private, like your family. Yes. Even though I think there's just something about, I haven't reached that level of comfortability sharing my family with everybody. And I think I will. I just haven't reached that time yet. I feel like, because here's why. I can take all the attacks all day, but when somebody attacks my kids or my husband, I don't want you guys to see that side of me, because that's not the best side of me. In fact, I had a situation a couple months ago. I uploaded a picture of, I'm not going to say who, because this person doesn't even know this happened, and I don't want that person to know that it happened. But I uploaded a picture of me and a family member of mine, and somebody made a snarky comment, and I immediately deleted it. But I was so hecka mad that it ended it for me. I was like, done. I'm not going to do this. I am not going to subject my family to any kind of negativity, and because I will get very protective. And this week in particular has been rough with the comment section. Like, I've been getting a lot of kind of more nastier comments that I haven't gotten all year, since I've been doing this. And this is, I guess, all in preparation of, opening more up in the YouTube world. But I know myself too well, and some of the comments have really, really ticked me off this week, and I can handle a lot of comments. But there's some comments that I can't handle, but the ones I know I cannot handle is attack on my family. So that's what's stopping me from sharing my family. It's very hard for me. And I don't know. I just haven't, I'm fearful of that. I really am. I'm fearful of subjecting them to that, because this is my choice. This is something that I love to do. This is my choice. They didn't choose this. I don't want to subject them to negative, snarky comments, because I'm a very protective mom. I know you guys are. All of you out there who are married or moms or whoever, you're going to be very protective of the people that you love. It doesn't matter who they are. And so subjecting them to any type of negative comments, I'm not ready for that yet. And I still need to better prepare myself for that, because even though I've been being hammered in the comment sections lately of my videos, most of them I've been able to handle, but a few of them I haven't. I cannot handle any type of attacks on my family. I will lose my mind. So I'm being very protective about it. It's not that I'm private, because I'm actually not a very private person. I don't want to subject them to any kind of negative comments, no matter what it is, especially you guys, because I have 2 teenage kids. And you guys know that being a teenager is already hard enough as it is. And if anybody criticized them for anything, you know how teenagers are. They take that so serious. They can't handle it. I can. I'm not going to put that on them. And so I've wanted to do a video with like my daughter and I, but even though I know that majority of my followers would be so sweet and so kind, if there was a negative comment, and let's just say I missed it and my daughter read that and she was affected by it, I don't know that I could ever come on here and do YouTube again, because I would never ever hurt my children, ever. And so I would never want this space that brings me happiness to cause them any type of pain. And so I want you guys to understand that it's not that I'm a private person. I'm just protecting them from any type of negative hate or any type of negative comments, because I might be able to handle them, but they can't. And that's not fair to put them through that. So that is the reason why I have not brought her on here. And even though I do think it would be really, really fun, and she keeps asking me, hey mom, when are we gonna, da-da-da. That's what's holding me back, because I would never forgive myself if this platform hurt them in any way. I would never forgive myself, and it would ruin it for me completely, because I would never find joy in anything that hurt my kids. So, we'll see how it goes. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. The next question is, I assume that you have a mouth like a truck driver. Oh my gosh, you just had to ask. Yes, I do. I don't cuss a lot in my videos, only because I do know that my kids' friends watch these, and I do know that a lot of you moms are out there and you're watching, and you maybe have your kids kind of running around the house. So I do try to watch my mouth, but I do not have the best mouth. That in my opinion is one of my biggest downfalls, and everybody will tell you that. I grew up with even though my family was religious, my dad has a horrible mouth, and I grew up with it. And the sad thing is, I've kind of put that off on my kids. My kids have grown up with my horrible mouth, and I've tried to control it, but there's certain situations where it just is like bad. So even though that's an excuse, I'm not making excuses. I do have a bad mouth. I do. Sadly, I do have a bad mouth. And I know that's probably shocking many of you, but I do have a bad mouth. Okay, the next question is, I assume that you're the coolest mom. I bet you're one of the moms that all the kids want as their mom. How right am I? Laugh out loud. I mean, I want you as my mom. Yes. I don't know. They might. I don't know. Maybe. I do try to be kind of a cool mom. I try to be that mom where the kids can kind of talk to me and they don't have to feel like they can't be who they want to be, because I grew up with my parents being so damn strict that they didn't know anything about me. They knew nothing about me. I do try to keep the communication with my kids open so that they can come and talk to me, and I do feel like their friends feel the same way. So yeah, I do try to be that type of a parent. I assume you can give me advice on raising a teenage daughter. Haha, not kidding. Yes. And my advice is I've had to learn how to do this, and I'm not good at this because I'm the mom that wants to control, and I the worst thing you can do is try to control your teenager. If you try to control them, you're going to lose them, and they're not going to tell you anything. They're not going to. You want to be the person that guides them, not controls them. So let them be who they are and let them find their own way. I've made so many mistakes as a mom trying to protect my kids and not letting them kind of fix whatever is going wrong. I want to jump in and fix it like they're 5. You can't do that with teenagers. And I've learned that the hard way. Like, you have to let them make those mistakes, and you have to let them learn from them. And the thing that I always tell them, that it's not about the mistake that matters as much, it's what you do after the mistake that counts. And so I try to implement that in everything that they do, but trying to control them is not going to work. And my parents tried to control everything I did. I'm not kidding. Like, my parents were so strict. And don't get me wrong, it kept me out of trouble, and it kept me from, losing my virginity at a really young age and all of that things. Like, I'm very grateful for that because I did grow up in such a strict home. But on the flip side of that, my parents didn't know anything about me. And when I turned 18, my ass was gone. Like, I could not get out of that house fast enough. I felt so claustrophobic, and they just completely they drove me nuts. And I try to let my kids have more freedom, and I don't just assume that they're always doing bad, and I trust them until they give me a reason not to. But the biggest advice I can give you is to not control them. And here's the thing that I've had to learn with my daughter. My daughter is more introverted. I'm very extroverted. She's introverted. And I have found myself speaking for her. And that is not right. Just because she's quiet doesn't mean that she doesn't have a voice. It doesn't mean that she has no right to speak. I cannot speak for her, and I have found myself speaking for her, and that's not fair to her. I need to allow her to be who she is and say what she feels and be okay with that. And maybe it's not what I agree with, or maybe it's not, maybe I'm not happy about it, but she has to learn her way in life. And so my biggest advice is just let them be who they are and do not control them. If you're too controlling, they'll slip away, and then it's really, really hard to get them back. The other question is, I assume that you're a great mother, wife, and friend. I also assume you are wealthy but charitable. My biggest one is, I assume you have learned a good lesson of humility and you are willing to share that with us. Okay, so I assume that you're a great mom and wife and friend. I try to be a great mom and wife. I do try to be, the best that I can be for them. I definitely try to be a very loyal friend. I'm the type of friend that you could tell me anything and I wouldn't tell anybody. I'm that type of person. I'm extremely loyal. I also assume that you're wealthy but charitable. I'm definitely not wealthy. I mean, we all wish we were wealthy, right? My husband and I do pretty good, but we're not wealthy. I mean, we're not wealthy. Definitely not wealthy. If we were wealthy, my butt would be traveling the world, okay? I would love to be traveling the world. We do okay, and we budget good and stuff like that. We save good, but we're definitely not wealthy. My biggest one is, I assume you have learned a good lesson of humility. Yes, and I honestly think the thing that kind of brings me back down to reality as far as just life in general is when I am around a special needs person, whether it's a child or an adult or whatever. There's something so special about someone who has special needs. My neighbor is actually, they have a child that's special needs, and he is a riot. My husband's nephew has a son who has special needs, and he changed our family forever. And even though I only get to see him for 3 or 4 weeks out of the year, they live in Florida and we live in Utah, so I only get to see him during the summer for that month that we go to Florida. But he man, that boy can just light up a room. And even though he doesn't speak, he speaks so clearly to me. It definitely keeps me humble. And so whenever I'm around him, I have that sense of just humbled, grateful, he just keeps me centered. He's an amazing kid. I wish that I seen him more because he's just an incredible joy. And he's amazing. Doesn't matter what you do. You could walk by someone homeless and give them $5. And that's just, those little things can keep you humbled. And so I recommend it always. Now, I've heard people say, well, I don't give to homeless because they're just going to buy booze or drugs with it. That's on them. It comes from your heart, and that's what matters. What they decide to do with it is on them. They're in that situation for reasons that is not our right to judge. I cannot imagine being homeless. I don't even want to know what that feels like. But it's just one act of kindness, whether it's buying somebody's meal in front of you at the drive-thru, or, you know, buying somebody's coffee in front of you at Starbucks, whatever it is. It's just the act of humility that makes you a better person. And I definitely try not to judge those who are homeless because, oh man, breaks my heart to see it. I assume you don't like to cook and you and your family eat out often. You wanted more kids. You are not into sports, but go to games with your hubby because he likes it. You have a large group of friends. You are naturally petite and don't do much to maintain your figure. Love, thanks a bunch, lovely lady. Can't wait for the video. Okay, these are great questions. Number one, you don't like to cook and you and your family eat out often. That's actually false. I cook all the time. I try to cook every night, but you know, sometimes with the whole YouTube schedule, that doesn't happen, but I definitely cook at least 4 to 5 times a week. And if I'm not able to cook like a big meal, I'll do like something small, like whatever it is, like a BLT sandwich, or like my husband loves my grilled cheeses. He's obsessed with them. So I'll do something small. Or my husband will cook for a second, you know, he's not the best cook. He doesn't love to cook, but he will cook when I need him to. But I do love to cook, and we don't eat out very often. In fact, eating out is not my favorite thing to do. I like to go to a restaurant, like, you know, my husband and I and stuff. But I don't like fast food. And so, plus we live 30 minutes away, which keeps us from eating out a lot, which is great. But definitely we don't eat out very often. I'm saying maybe once a month, if that. You wanted more kids. Actually, I didn't, but I regret that. So we had 2 kids pretty quick, back to back. And my daughter's birth was kind of really, really hard for me. And so I wanted no more after that because I didn't want to go through that again. And now I regret that. I wish I would have had more kids. So back then I only wanted 2, but now I wish I would have had more. You are not into sports, but you go to the games with your husband because he likes it. And that is the fact. I don't sit and watch sports. Sports are not that entertaining for me. But I do go with my husband to, like, he has season tickets to the Jazz game. And if my son can't go with him, then I will go. And we have a great time. I absolutely love watching my son play any sport, though. And that is my favorite thing to do. If you could ask me whether I wanted to go to the beach, which I love, or watch my son play a game of football or basketball, I would be watching him play sports all day long. It's my favorite thing to do. So I don't like sports, and I don't understand them, but I like to watch him play. You are naturally petite and don't do much to maintain your figure or weight. Yes, I am naturally petite, and I don't do anything to maintain my weight or figure, and I should. I definitely should I should work out more, but I don't. But I am naturally petite. Yes, that is true. The next question is, I assume you love makeup and are very sweet to your dog and a perfectionist and good with colors. Oh, thank you. Yes, I do love my dogs because my dogs are the ones that want to be around me anymore. My kids have got their own lives going on. You know how that is. So the dogs always want to be with you, and I love that. And they've become our kids. They really have. So we definitely love our animals. I definitely love makeup. Yes, I'm a perfectionist and good with colors. I try to be good with colors. I've gotten better. I will say, since I've done this channel, I've gotten better with colors. So I used to struggle kind of opening up an eyeshadow palette and pulling out colors and putting them together. But as I've had to force myself to do it with this channel and stuff, I've gotten better with that, which is not what I expected. One of the other questions was from the last question. I forgot this one. You have a large group of friends. No, I actually don't. And I know that's going to shock you, but I don't really have I don't have a large group of friends. I have a few friends and that's it. Like, I keep my circle kind of tight because, to be honest with you, I don't have time to nurture a friendship the way I should. And so I really don't have a lot of friends around me. And I do miss that. And I think that's kind of what YouTube kind of fulfills, because I feel like all of you guys are my friends. And so that kind of fills the void of not having those outside friendships. I'm so wrapped up in my husband and my kids that I really don't have a lot of room for friends, which I kind of regret that. But thankfully, this kind of, fulfills that for me. Okay, so the next question is, I assume that when you become friends with someone that you're friends for life. Your kindness for others shows and shines through in your reviews and videos. I also assume you're most definitely not a pushover. Oh girl, I'm not a pushover. I can be, but I've learned the hard way not to be. So yes, I'm not a pushover, especially when it comes to my kids. Like, I'm kind of the, no. That's not acceptable. I'm that type of person. I assume that when you become friends with somebody that you are friends for life. Yes, I am that way. I am that way. But I've had two friends of mine that I thought were going to be my friends for life. It totally took a complete advantage of me, and I had to completely remove them from my life, which was very, very hard. But there's times when if you have friends that are draining you and they're not giving you anything in return, you got to dump them. Like, you got to get rid of them. So your kindness for others shows and shines through your videos. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to say. That truly means a lot to me. You are the nice parent. Your husband has to be the disciplinarian. No, it's actually the opposite. I am the disciplinarian. Crazy, right? I was one of those moms where my kids were never running around the grocery store like a bunch of maniacs. That was never acceptable. I was always pretty strict with my kids all through the time they were like toddlers. Of course, I didn't spank them or anything, but I was strict. I didn't, we had a lot of fun. It's almost like I reached the point where I could give them a look and they'd be like, oh, never mind. Like, they knew that it wasn't acceptable. And there's been a few times, which they don't forget, they rub it in my face every chance they get, but there's been a few times throughout their childhood that I like lost my shit. And I was like, you are done and you're still, you know those days. Come on, moms. You know those days where you completely lose your marbles. I've had a few of those moments and they haven't forgotten it, sadly. I was hoping they would, but they haven't. But I was pretty strict and I expected a certain behavior, and my kids were never the ones that were like on the middle of the floor throwing a full-blown temper tantrum. I do remember one time my daughter tried to throw the temper tantrum, and I looked down at her and I was like, when you get done, come find me, because this is stupid. Like, I'm not even going to entertain this. And I just walked away. I left her there and she was like, wait, what? They do it for attention. So I didn't give her any attention for it, and she never did it again. She did other things to get attention, but she never threw a temper tantrum. It wasn't like I had to beat them. I didn't have to spank them. I didn't have to like throw them in a corner for 40 minutes while they just sat there and played with their thumbs. They just didn't like to disappoint me. We had a great relationship and they didn't want to make me upset. And so it was what it was. And I'm definitely the disciplinarian. Now, maybe as they've gotten older, maybe they're a little bit more afraid of dad than they are me now. It's almost like the roles have reversed, where they were like, oh, we don't want to piss mom off. But now I think they're like, oh, we don't want to piss dad off. I think the roles have reversed now that they're teenagers. I don't know. I do feel like it's that way though. Your kindness gets mistaken for weakness. Sometimes people try to take advantage of your kind and generous nature. Have we met? You might have a hard time saying no to someone even when other people tell you that you should. Yes, and I've learned that the hard way many, many times. You were never a party nightclub kind of person. Absolutely. I have never been a bar party nightclub kind of girl. I just never really, I've been to them, obviously. I mean, I've been to them a few times, but I had kids at such a young age, and once I had kids, I just didn't have any desire to ever go back to the bar, especially nowadays. I am way too damn old to be up in the club, let me tell you that much. The next question is, you are not a big drinker of alcohol. Absolutely no. I probably have a glass of wine every once in a while. It's been probably 10 years since I was like drunk, like you could say the word drunk. I'm not a big drinker, and it's just not something that's appealing to me. If I do have a glass of wine, it's a red wine, and it's more to relax, or, you know, if we have a few friends over and, you know, we're having wine or whatever, I'll have a glass of wine. Like, I'm not opposed to drinking. I do love a Bloody Mary though. Oh, hot damn. When I go on an airplane, now that is when I love to drink. A Bloody Mary is on an airplane. That is my favorite thing to do. The next question is, you hate gossip. Yeah, I'm not big into gossip because gossip can be very hurtful, and I've been on the other end of gossip. I don't like it. I'm not big on gossip. The other question is, I'm assuming that even though people assume you're perfectionist in all aspects of your life, some things get shoved aside and piled up. Oh my gosh. You love organized spaces, so you start to feel overwhelmed with clutter. When you can't stand it anymore, you go in at 110% until it's completed. This is because you'd rather spend your free time being creative or having fun, not doing mundane chores. Or I could be projecting myself onto you. Oh my gosh, did I not just get done telling you that I do really love an organized space, but I do not start it unless I can go balls to the wall, 110% and knock it out of the ballpark. I will push it to the side until I can take that time to do it. Wow, she nailed me. She nailed me on that one. Definitely. Yes, 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 yes. All the way through. Yes, 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 yes. I assume you're a dog person. Yes, I'm definitely a dog person. We just celebrated my German Shepherd. She just turned 4. We just celebrated her birthday on Instagram and Snapchat. It was really cute. She had a birthday cake and all that stuff. I definitely love my doggies, okay? I assume you were a cheerleader and prom princess in school, but I also assume that doesn't define you, and there are causes in the world much near and dear to your heart. Oh my gosh, no. I was not a cheerleader and I was not a prom princess. I wasn't the most popular girl in school. No. In fact, I had like multiple kind of groups that I was friends with, but I always struggled kind of finding that place where I belonged. And so I think that's why I had multiple friend groups, but absolutely not. I was not the most popular girl in school or cheerleader or anything like that. I had friends who were cheerleaders. Definitely no. I really struggled trying to find where I fit in, and I was definitely that kind of girl. I assume you are an amazing mother and your kids' friends love coming over to your house because you're the cool mom. I assume that you're a dog person as well. Yes, I do try to be the cool mom, and I love it when my kids' friends come over. I freaking love it. I can't tell you how much I love it when my kids' friends come over. And yes, I'm a dog person. Yes, yes, yes. So that was the final question. I hope that you guys got to know me even a little bit more. Those were really good assumptions. I think it's fun. I really liked this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was great. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And thank you to all of you who took the time to ask me a question in the assumptions category. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day filled with love and happiness. I will see you guys right back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I love you guys so much.